All right, guys. So, been a long time. As a matter of fact, let me bring just everybody up here real quick. Ta-da!
Hello.
So it's been a while. Haven't been on here in a minute, but I'm with my boy Rob, which everybody knows from Sentinel Apologetics. You know me and him go way back, and we have an
And
interesting
Cloud.
tree because and Cloud too, and Cloud. It's been a long time with Cloud too. My goodness, because we've all been on Sentinel together, doing
Yes.
everything together, and we have a video that's happening and we wanted to respond to some of these because we were watching it live all together kind of, and it was just like, oh man, you sneaky little devil, you a
Well,
slithery
not
little
just
snake.
watching it, we even went into the back room, and as cowards as they are, they kicked us out. So
It's yeah, like literally in there waiting for how long? A
about an
while.
hour. Yeah.
Waiting for a while, and then all of a sudden you see a Muslim say, hey, kick Rob out, and it's just like, what the crap, man? I like, you guys don't want to have honest conversations or something? Don't know.
Now,
Don't.
apparently, I'm an Islamophobe.
Which, if you disagree with anything Islam
The
says,
guy, the guy that said kick that
that's
guy
about
out,
automatic.
and then I was kicked out after that guy got kicked out. That same guy, Fareed, in a prior stream where I attempted to join and I was kicked out from that, he told Rumsey, I'm not going to be in this stream if you bring Rob up.
Why do you say that?
So
Wait, who said that? Ramsey said that?
no, the guy Fareed on the far right.
Uh huh.
Oh, Fawad, sorry, Fawad
Uh
on the
huh.
far right. So in a prior stream, he said that. He said, "Oh, if you're going to bring Rob up, I'm not going to be in the stream." That same Fawad in this stream that says, kick that guy out."
Why they feel threatened by Rob only is what this stream should be called. Because the name of their stream is "Why They Feel Threatened by Islam
Threatened by
Only."
Islam only.
We should
Yeah,
be with this. The name of the
yeah,
stream
yeah.
should be "Why They Feel Threatened by
Not just
Rob
me,
Only."
Hunter, Cloud,
At
threatened by
Dawa over
the real
dummy.
cowards are actually them. Why they feel threatened by Islam? Yeah, threatened, and yet I show up and they kick me out. How interesting.
So so
So
let's do this. So we got to rewind it just a little bit. Just because there was a lot of interesting things that have been said already, and it's just like, oh man, like I was like, Rob left away for a second, or his camera was off, and I was like, Rob, where are you? This is this is our stuff. This is what we like talk
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
all the
yeah,
time,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just like, I don't know. But okay, so here's the thing, guys. Too, with this live stream, it may not stay on. Just to be real, because this is a live stream happening on an Islamic channel.
I mean,
So
theoretically, it should be fair use. We're commentating
true,
on the stream. It's public.
true, but
But Muslims are known for just flagging
flagging
videos just because
exactly.
they,
So
yeah.
if this stream ends, that's okay. Because I just so happen to not only live streaming, I'm not only live streaming this right now, I'm also pre-recording this also right now as well. That way, if the live stream ends for whatever reason, they like to flag us or anything, then it's still being pre-recorded. So we'll still have it. We'll snip it up if we have to, whatever. I haven't been doing a lot because I have been focusing on a lot of other things. So forgive me, just because I have been extremely busy. I've even contemplated going back and forth, whether to continue the channel just because I've been so busy. Like literally, the last major thing that happened, I was in a debate with what's his name, Don, or whatever, young Don, whatever his name is. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
anywho, let's go ahead and get into this. So I'm gonna hit. Well, actually, you're sharing the screen, aren't you? Yes, you're sharing the screen.
Yes. Yeah,
So
yeah. I've even edited the public post to tag Dawa over Dania. So hopefully you'll see it. We're
so
gonna
you
put
tagged
that
them.
flagging to the test, baby. So
Oh man. Well, the thing is like you tagged it, but they don't know if I'm live streaming it as well.
no, they don't know we're streaming their thing unless I've now notified. Well, I've tagged. I don't know if he'll see a notification. I don't know. But
What did you put as the thing again? What is your tag? Or what
I'm
is your
live with Habibi
headline?
Hunter responding to Dawa over Dania.
Ooh. Wait, I'm really curious whether he
This is in the community tab.
I know, but I'm just saying, how funny would it be? It's like if he's looking
And
around right now.
you can put the Daba thing in the title.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, I don't want him. I don't care if he sees it or not, but I don't want it to necessarily get flagged. I just want this to have a good response, because if he's going to kick you out and not have a conversation with us, then we can just have a conversation about what they're saying. Just as simple as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And either way,
Yeah.
if he, yeah,
Either way, we're having the conversation.
yeah,
So it works. You piece of crap. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't flag me for that. That was a complete joke. That's something I say even to my Christian friends, like all the time. It's just how I am, and I don't care because it's funny. All right, go ahead and hit play, and let's talk about it.
I do want to note one thing to the audience. So basically, how this operation works is you have 4 individuals over here who are the part Islam team, and they get 1 Christian in here who probably doesn't know not much of anything. Still learning, still trying to grow in his faith. And they just hound, attack him, and treat him like a punching bag by 4 bullies. So it's not really much to say about these types of shows other than that they are just pure, just rage bait.
That's the Muslim bully tactic. You should see the reaction I got. I forget now. It's one of the streams, like maybe 2 weeks ago. And then since then I haven't been allowed on, but Wazam, there's a guy named Wazam that just went ape.
You mean Wissam?
Yeah, Wissam, yeah, from Club.
WESAM?
Yeah. He just goes, "Your very face infuriates me, Rob." I'm quoting him verbatim. Wait, your very face makes me very angry. Yeah, it's on this channel.
I gotta.
We should actually bring. I'm gonna find it. Let me just find it.
Okay.
Then we will.
Then we'll go back to
continue with the stream.
Okay.
All right. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it could be this one here. Or maybe why haven't you accepted? It's one of these two. Let me just check.
Okay. This is all recorded, by the way, too. So we're seeing what.
Or is it we're back? It could be we're back. Okay, let me go here. Let's see.
Uno momento, por favor. Wow, you have the loudest mouse I've ever heard in my life.
Oops.
Whenever time he clicks on something, there's like a thunderstorm going in the background. That's how
lightning is striking.
All right.
Doesn't look like you're on there.
Wait, I think it's back here.
Oh, was it like kind of like an instant thing?
Oh, there I am. There we go.
Let's go.
There we go. All right. Okay. Oh, and as you can tell, I'm on very short. So here we go.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really curious now.
I'm just gonna skip to the bit where Wassam comes on. Yeah, I think that's in there.
No. I mean, like, let's hear what you have to say too. This would be really good.
You mean you want me to play it from the start, like when I come on?
I mean, what are you bringing up? I'm just out of curiosity.
I forgot.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
it's your call.
Yeah. No. I'm fine. Let's play it.
Yeah, it should be. Okay. Hold on, wait 1 second. Unless I've missed a message, which I'm gonna feel very guilty.
I'm playing at 1.25.
Let's
see.
I don't know how well that would go.
Oh yeah.
Well, I got myself this book, and it's done through a fresh Quran translation by a guy named A.J. Drudge. He's published for Oxford.
Oh, this is recent.
2019 translation. I'm interested in your. Yeah, this happened 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, because I was about to say, because like you just. Yeah, I was like, you just showed me that book not too long ago too. I was like,
yeah.
Just got this book not too long ago. All right, go ahead. This is great.
Explanation on Imran, and because I know you've heard this many times, but that's right. Yeah, I brought up the whole the father's name of Mary, and
gotcha.
And Fawad or someone over here says there are 2 Imrans, and the Imran of Surah 3 is not the father of Moses. But it's an argument from silence, basically. So yeah. I've been reading through this commentary in regards to ayah 33, 34, 35, all the way to, well, basically when Isa emerges in, say, 45, somewhere around then. So there's...
Sorry, which verse again? What verse is?
From 33 to basically up to around, say, 45.
Did you read the tafsir? What they have to say about this?
Like they're speaking in tongues.
Yes, I've looked into it. My
I'm
question is, I
100%
don't. Well, my clarifying statement with the question is, when I read this, I don't see leaps of time transpiring between the Isa of 45 and the wife of Imran in 35. So my question is, who is Imran in history?
Imran is the father of Mary.
There are two Amrans, by the way, just to make it clear.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about. Yeah, there is Amran, the father. There is Amran, the father of Mary, the grandfather of Jesus, and there is another Amran, the father of Moses.
Right, right.
Hmm.
So how do we know that there's two Imrans?
From
Because
the
Moses,
timeline.
because Moses and Jesus didn't live together.
Exactly.
Oh no, duh.
And look at this dude, the face. He's like, cause Moses and Jesus didn't live at the same time.
Yeah, I know. Oh
All right,
boy.
keep going.
And so I'm like, well, exactly.
Keep it going, cause it's about to get
From
Because
the
Mo-
timeline.
Because Moses and Jesus didn't live together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But why? So in that context, notice that you have a chronology in 33: Adam, Noah, house of Abraham, house of Imran. So that means if this is not the Amram of Moses, then
You're
you
looking at verse 33 right now.
yeah, back in 33.
Okay.
And then it says some of them, 34 says some of them descendants of others. So then the wife of Imran, there's like this reaction that they were expecting a son, but they got a female. And it's like, it's okay, don't worry. Then she will give birth to Isa. And then it mentions Zechariah and John. Elsewhere in the Quran, you have sister of Aaron. And if I compare that with Numbers 26, it has Jochebed as Imran's wife, who gives birth to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam.
Well, before we go to the Bible, we don't really take the Bible as a.
Wait,
Also, what I should have brought up, in actually, you know what? Let me just show you this.
While
Say
you're
what you're
showing me
going to say,
that-
Hunter, and then
what? Yeah, while you're showing that, first off, it's like Moses and Jesus lived at different times, and then what did Rumsey just say? We don't take the Bible, right? That's what he said.
Mhm.
Then how do you know Moses and Jesus actually lived in different times of each other? How else would you know that? What historical documentation do you have about when Moses lived, or well, in that case, he'll talk about when Jesus lived, or at least that gives a time frame in which those two actually did live. The only one you're emphatically going to get from is the Bible, is the Old Testament, Genesis through well, maybe not Genesis, but Exodus through Deuteronomy. You're gonna get it through those with Moses. So like, you don't take the Bible, but you have to use the Bible. That's the craziest thing. All right, so let me get this. Okay.
All right, so this is Gabriel Reynolds' commentary on the Quran in light of the Bible. Fantastic resource because these Muslims keep harping on. So for example, that Gordon Nichols' work, because he's Christian, oh, we can't trust it. So why not just expand the horizon and go into one that is not biased either way, for Islam, against Islam? And Reynolds' work is just dynamite because it actually authenticates precisely my hypothesis that the Quran, all it does is it regurgitates legendary texts and stories from the first 5 centuries. That's it. The so-called prior scriptures like the Torah and the Injil, although it asserts you have to go to those texts to vindicate and validate and verify that Muhammad is the true prophet. And then as Christians, we're like, oh, well, we have the text. Old Testament, New Testament. So Old Testament is Tanakh, part of the Tanakh, the Torah, New Testament, the Injil. And Muhammad is not there. Oh, it's because you corrupted the text. So then we're like, then where can we go? Oh, no, the Torah and the Injil are missing. So we can only rely on the Quran. Just take the Quran's word for it.
Yeah.
So what's curious is that my hypothesis is such that if we can only rely on the Quran, then the Quran should give some sort of taste of what was happening in the Torah, some sort of taste of what was happening in the Injil. Just a glimpse.
But
when we do that, because it does repeat stories from the Torah, it does repeat stories from the Injil as part of that taste. We then notice that, what it thinks is the Torah and the Injil are actually legendary texts and stories that are considered apocrypha, pseudepigrapha, Gnostic, blah, blah, blah. So, here's an example. By the way, this whole stream is not in response to the stream this is just a side illustration of how these Muslims go arrayed when this stuff is discussed. So, notice you have 33. Indeed, God chose Adam and Noah and the progeny of Abraham, the progeny of Imran, above all the nations. And Reynolds says, the name Imran seems to correspond with biblical Amram, the father of Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, the Hebrew form of Mary. Here, and also compared with 66:12 in the Quran, he appears as the father of Mary, the mother of Jesus. The Quran thus conflates the two Marys as it does when it describes Mary as sister of Aaron, which, by the way, this is what I just mentioned in the stream. But I forgot to emphasize that the same chapter, okay, so chapter 19, verse 28 has sister of Aaron, but later in the same chapter, in Ayah 53, it says, Moses is named the brother of Aaron. So notice Surah 19 has Moses, brother of Aaron, Mary, sister of Aaron. Now you have Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, the three of the Torah. But that Mary of chapter 19 is the mother of Jesus. So you can't say there are two Imrans. And so then Reynolds says the conflation is likely a confusion, although some scholars argue that it is an intentional way to emphasize Mary's connection to the temple in Jerusalem, where, according to the tradition which the Quran follows in this passage, she was raised, which, by the way, it's a proto-evangelion of James that speaks about the casting of the rods, and then the rod lands on Joseph. And so the Quran repeats that same legend, that story, which is something I tried to share, Hunter, remember on the other stream we were on just the other day. I try to bring up that the proto-evangelion of James to say, look, the Quran says there were lots of pens cast. It's in this context. So the 4th century Syriac Christian Afrahat draws a parallel between the two Marys. Miriam stood on the edge of the river when Moses was floating in the water, and Mary bare Jesus after the angel Gabriel had made the annunciation to her. All right, anyway, I just wanted to point out,
yep,
brother of Aaron, sister of Aaron, seems quite clear that there's only 3 siblings of Imran.
But apparently there's 2 because Jesus and Moses didn't live at the same time. And
which I agree, but you can't make an argument from silence.
Right, but I give the face Ramsey gets. Because they live at different times, Rob. Duh.
Right.
We know that, but apparently the writer of the Quran didn't know that, and that's what Rob's demonstrating here. Okay, so go back to the stream, and there we go. Okay, and let's go back into it.
As a reliable source of information, but before we go there, what do you call it? I'm not quite seeing how. So are you trying to insinuate that the Imran, the 2 Imrans are actually one Imran?
Well, if I go with numbers, right? Then I'm seeing Imran there, his children being Moses, Aaron, and Mary.
You mean the book of Numbers in the Bible?
The book of Numbers, chapter 26.
I mean, okay.
When I look at this, when I look at the Quran, it speaks about sister of Aaron in chapter 19. And here you have, again, Imran.
Okay, I understand.
From Adam, Noah, Abraham. Who's after Abraham? Moses, obviously.
But here's the problem. You realize, okay, but here's the problem. You know, sister of Aaron, the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, explained what that means, right? He was actually asked about this in his lifetime.
Yeah,
right.
I know.
Right.
So why was
Right. So why then are you asking?
Why was?
By the way, for some reason my microphone was cutting in and out, but I asked the question. But why was he asked?
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Yeah.
That is the red flag. The fact that he's asked is because of this confusing point Muhammad made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, hang on, Muhammad. Wait, what? Did he just say Mary's the sister of Aaron and?
Yep. Dun dun dun. All right.
If you know the answer, if you know what the Prophet Muhammad, how he explained this, why are you asking?
Yeah, but if I'm reading just this, I find it interesting. You have chronology from Adam, Noah, Abraham. Then after Abraham is Moses. Exactly the same name, Imran.
Okay.
So this is why the chronological question is raised, is because how can suddenly you jump 1,200 years, or actually more than that, if it's Abraham, you're jumping like 2,000 years straight to a father of Mary called Imran.
It goes from, so wait, hold on. If I'm looking at it, says Adam, Noah, then Abraham. Noah lived a long time. 1 second. Noah lived way before Abraham. So why does it matter whether the gap of time? Why does that matter?
Well, chronologically, who's after Abraham?
Who
Many
chronologically after Abraham?
Rob, I think the problem here is your mindset, and you're reading the Quran while holding the Bible.
There we go. You're using the Quran because you're just reading it through the Bible.
Super cringe. All right, let's see what he says.
As your criteria, because one thing to understand about the Quran, it is not like the Bible when it talks about chronological, because it doesn't do that. Like, for example, the Quran, the first chapter of the Quran does not talk about Adam alayhi salam. No, it's not meant to be a chronological order. The reason why you're holding the Quran to that standard is because you hold the Bible to that standard.
That's not even the argument. Pause it. Hold on. That's not even the argument you're giving. You're not saying the Quran is being chronological like the Bible is, with starting with Adam in the beginning and then Revelation ending with the return or something like that. Which that's not even how the Bible is actually working in some of its parts. So you're not making that argument. Like that is a typical argument.
It's like, hey guys, Surah 1 is meant to be like Genesis 1. Surah 2 is meant to be like, I don't know, the next chapter in Genesis, or maybe the next book after Genesis, Exodus 2 or 3.
I'm curious how you respond to this, though. Let's see real quick.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how I've forgotten this discussion.
Ask, if you're going to read the Quran, do not view it within the light, within the criteria, within the mindset of the way you read the Bible, because it's a completely different text. Does that make sense?
Okay, if it's a completely different text, then what do we rely on? How do we know that this chronological statement is true if it's a completely different text?
Because if the Quran is the word of God, you don't need anything else to know that it's true. If the Quran is from God, you know from the Quran that it's true.
Pause it.
Circular reasoning. Hello.
That is
hold on. You know what that is? You know what that's called? You know what that's ironically called? Conjecture. That's called conjecture, people.
Argument from silence, circular reasoning. The Quran is true because it says so. I trust it because it says it's the word of God.
And granted, like, in some cases, you see people of all spectrums doing this. But I have seen this even more out of the Muslim community than I'm even seeing out of the Christian community. It's like, Jesus loves me because the Bible tells me so. I actually don't hear that very often anymore. I have a lot of people wondering, like, well, okay, like, you know, how do we know he actually said that? Kind of is the question that I get a lot of times, even in my churches that I go to and I visit everything and I talk to people. It's like, people are always like, you know, pastors are now preaching like why this is reliably true. But in the mosques here or in the community with Muslims, it's because the Quran says it. That's all you need. The Quran is the word of Allah. And it's like, I would give it, let's see, how long has it been since the Protestant Reformation? It's been 400 years. And how long has Islam been around? Like 14 or something like that? So I give it 200 years for a Reformation. 200 years. Maybe if, well, I don't know, with the information age now, it might have shortened. I'm calling it. Might be a Islamic Reformation.
Yeah, but I hope it's a Reformation that does away with, like, this is going to sound so non-PC, well, you know but 99% of the text.
Yeah, sure. I have a question. Are they
Quran only?
I have a question. Are the individuals in this panel and this channel Sunni Muslims? Like,
yeah, I would say they're all Sunni Muslim. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hold on.
Okay, time to pull up the Shiites.
So somebody in the comments, like Rachel, she was like, "So trust me, bro. Works for Quran text always, just because." And it was like, it's Sahih, trust me, bro. That's where they're getting that from. Sahih, trust me, bro. That's all it was. All right, go ahead and play it.
All right. Yeah. So, for example, this is Surah 20, verse 17. and the magicians were cast down in prostration. They said, "We believe in the Lord of Aaron and Moses." So this is I'm just throwing a random example where
Sure.
you have the magicians of Pharaoh's court, you have Aaron and Moses being mentioned, and then we have not just the 19th dynastic period to rely on with Egyptian texts, but we even look at the Torah to see that this is what was happening in the account. Which other text in history can I look back and go, oh yeah, there's your Aaron and Moses?
Now, Rob, here's the problem. So, okay, well, first of all, there's some text, some information in the Bible we agree with, some we disagree with. Look, if your argument today is, well, the Quran contradicts the Bible, yeah, we have no problem conceding this. Yeah, the Quran contradicts the Bible in many different ways. In fact, on some much more, if you're a Christian, some much bigger things like the crucifixion. So this is like, we agree, the Quran contradicts the Bible left, right, and center. But if your issue is well, okay, well, we need something else like prior to the Quran. Like, so if the Quran talks about Abraham, for example, we need a text prior to us or prior to the Quran.
The problem is not the text. The problem is, even Ramsey, you just said that there was a differentiation. Like, Jesus and Moses didn't live at the same time. That's the issue. It's not about a text. You're talking about from a historical standpoint. They lived in different times. What the Quran is teaching here is that Mary, the mother of Jesus, is the same as Mary, the brother of Moses, which are two totally different times. But the Quran is teaching this. So the issue is not between Bible and the Quran. The problem is the Quran. That's it. That's the only thing.
Because guess what? Newsflash, Muslims. As to put a little bit of Heiser sass into this, like Heiser would say, I feel a yawn coming over me. Newsflash. The Bible, if we just take out the Numbers story, the book of Numbers, right? And if we just take out, say, Luke's Gospel, chapter 1, and we put those two texts together, the Bible has 2 Marys mentioned. But if you were an insane, eisegetical, close-minded dunce, you would then say, oh, there's no difference between the 2 Marys. Why is the Mary of Jesus with Moses and Aaron? Therefore, they're one and the same person. Like you'd have to be insane to make the argument that just because there are 2 names,
well, Muhammad did
think
he was
that are
demon
exactly
possessed.
the same, that they're the same person.
Muhammad did think he was demon possessed, so I mean, it's not too far fetched. Of the insanity part.
No. My point is, I'm not even going there. My point is,
I know I am.
It's clear there are 2 Marys. That the Bible is saying there are 2 Marys. The Bible has already placed on the text at the start in the Torah section, there's a Miriam. In fact, we have even what's called the Song of Miriam. That's Exodus 15. Okay? The song about coming out of Egypt, right? So chapter 14 is the famous splitting of the sea, right? The Reed Sea.
Right.
And then chapter 15 is Mary, the sister of Moses, singing about this awesome salvation that's happened. And scholars themselves, Old Testament scholars, notice that song itself is a very, like, just the prose and the stanza and just the way it's laid out. It has a very ancient, in fact, it's considered one of the most ancient pieces of a type of Hebrew and poetry that we know of so far that's embedded in the text.
Right.
All right, trivia question to you and Cloud. Is there another Mary that does a song?
Hold on. I feel like
in the Bible?
I feel like that should be a yes.
Yes.
Is there another Mary in the Bible that also does a song?
Yes.
Yes. And which Mary is that?
Well, you only have. Oh wait. Is there? Wait, hold on. Okay, you're getting me now because you're putting me on the spot here. I want to say there was actually 3, but I'm drawing a blank here.
No, I'm just for the sake of when I said 2.
There is 2.
Mother of Jesus and Miriam. So.
Well, yeah.
Miriam.
Oh, thank you,
Mary.
Rachel. Yeah. There's Mary Magdalene. That's a Mary.
Yes.
Yeah, there's your third Mary, Mary Magdalene or Magdalene. Exactly. There's 3 Marys now, right?
Thanks,
but
Rachel.
I'm sticking with Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron.
Yep.
So, is there another Mary? The same, okay, the Miriam who did the song in Exodus 15, is there another Mary, or another person also named Mary, that also does this about the salvation of Yahweh?
Yes. The mother of Jesus. Right?
Yes, in Luke's gospel.
Right now.
So after the like the angel comes to us, gives us pronouncement, she goes into a song.
And
Clearly
it's on
a different person, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's another one, Mary, wife of Alphaeus. Plenty of Marys running around. All right, let's
Mary,
continue with the video.
Mary, did you know?
I do want to note really quickly before we
Yeah,
go,
go for it.
is that the issue with the Quran is that it's trying to report the historicity that the Old Testament and the New Testament bring out, but can't even transmit that correctly. That's the biggest issue here with the Quran. Yeah, that would just be the biggest issue. And like the Muslims just saying, oh, we don't believe in it, and just goes into this circular, like, well, that's not the point. Like, whether or not you believe in the Bible, point of the matter is that the Quran can't get ancient texts right. or basically
well,
yeah.
It could get some text right, like
that's true.
The forgeries, the fake.
Oh yes, the forgeries, like the infancy gospel of Mary, where Jesus like makes the dove, right. And Surah and Quran chapter 3, in Quran chapter 3, yeah, it's just
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. They got those right, but that's a different story. All right, so let's go ahead and.
But don't forget, we are in the same chapter. Surah 3 is Imran, where the dove bird thing takes place.
I do find it
so the same chapter where they conflate the two Marys is also the same chapter where the proto-evangelion of James is quoted with the pens being cast, the lots, and the bird.
Yeah.
The Quran is just a mishmash of legends. That's all it is.
Yes. But what's funny about that specific portion is since that came from a Gnostic gospel, the Gnostics actually had a higher view of Jesus than Muslims do.
I know. That's what makes it so ironic. Folks, get that book, the Nag Hammadi Scriptures. This is a commentary on the Nag Hammadi Scriptures. The scholars here actually cite the Quran as plagiarizing the Gnostic texts. One being obviously the crucifixion.
All right, let's go.
All right.
And to prove or disprove that, you realize that we don't have any historical documents that go back to Abraham's time, for example. Just an example. Is that a problem for the Bible or for the Quran?
What do you mean, is that a problem for the Bible or the Quran?
Okay, so when you brought up the example of Moses, for example.
Yeah.
Moses, you described the story of Moses, and then you said, well, we have the historical texts of Egypt, and we have the Bible as well to tell us about Moses and what happened in his time, this, that, the other. Okay, well, one, we already know the Quran contradicts what the Bible says. Regarding the other source, maybe, I don't know. But
yeah, big contradiction with the Pharaoh drowning. The Quran mentions the Pharaoh drowning.
Sure, yeah, the Bible contradicts the
Pharaoh drowned, for example. There's no Pharaoh that drowned.
In the Bible, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
How do you know that? Wait, how do you know that?
Period.
No, he's saying it's not in the Bible. I agree. The Bible doesn't say. I don't think
no, because earlier, he's saying historically.
Yeah, historically, it's not even not in the Bible. It's also not even Egyptian sources. No, we have the bodies of all the pharaohs in that period, and none of them drowned.
Well, I would say this.
I beg to differ.
I would say this. Yeah.
Okay,
so just in light of what you're saying about Egyptian sources, I would actually argue that Egyptian sources actually goes against the Bible in regards to who the Pharaoh is, and even the Pharaoh that's been discovered, Pharaoh Ramesses. They actually, when they did excavation of him, when they looked within the body, they actually concluded that this body, this person right here, who was known to be Ramesses II, they found salt in his lung.
Okay. Do you see my face here? I'm just like, oh boy, you guys are going to make a big mistake.
Yeah, which is typical. But, I mean, notice the bait and switch there. You talk about how there's no Pharaoh. Ramesses like, I beg to differ. And he's hesitant. And then all of a sudden, instead of getting into that, because there actually is no Pharaoh in that time that actually drowned. What is the Egyptologist that actually... demonstrates that. What is it? James Hoffmeyer, he's spoken about it before, but there was another one too. What was his name? I know
David
you know
Four?
who I'm talking about. David Falk. I knew it was David something, but couldn't think of his last name. He's also said it as well. But they want to go somewhere else now. Oh, but the Bible gets...
Oh, those are, by the way, that's like just counting a few we know on on one hand.
Right.
There's like all of Egyptology doesn't say Ramses the Great drowned. Like no pharaoh drowned. We have the bodies.
Exactly. And so now what happens? They want to go into, oh, well, history disagrees with what the actual pharaoh was. So I'm curious how this goes. Let's see what this says real quick.
He's going to bring up...
As a question about the Quran's grabbing the pharaoh drowned, did that come from a rabbinic tradition?
Yeah. So the Talmud, again, this proves my hypothesis. In fact, Reynolds, in his commentary, says the Quran is getting this from common era texts that interpreted the pharaoh and his army being, like as David Falk would say, that the Hebrew that is not drowned, it's literally shoved to the side, like they're just like swatting a fly. Like that's literally what the Hebrew means. They took that and presumed that the pharaoh drowned, and so then this legend came about the pharaoh drowning, which is now the Egyptologists themselves have had to go, no, it's a myth. The pharaoh didn't drown. This is just a polemical language to say because Pharaoh had waves of his army was going in waves. In fact, the Exodus text says this. There was a wave that was chasing after the Israelites. Then again, there's another wave, and then finally the Pharaoh decides himself to chase. But by the time he chases, the water has already washed away his army. So because he's still far back. Interestingly, by the way, Hunter and Cloud, do you remember that very recent Exodus movie with Christian Bale,
right,
as Moses?
Never watched it.
No.
I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I do like the creative direction of Ridley Scott because I do like, I'm a sucker for Ridley Scott.
But what about with that movie though?
But obviously there are stuff in there that are fanciful and a little bit reinterpreted and blah blah. Like it's not completely faithful to the source material, but Ramses the Great survives. So he's chasing his chariot. Yes, he does. There's a scene where he and Moses sort of like have a clashing moment while there's a tidal wave that comes over.
Tsunami.
But Ridley Scott's interpretation is, I know Ramses the Great survives, but because it's Hollywood and because it's a little bit fanciful, I'm going to have them clash, and then the wave takes them, and then Moses basically swims ashore on one side, Ramses swims ashore on the other side. And because don't forget that the way Ridley Scott designed the movie is he wanted to communicate the realness of the fact that technically they're like stepbrothers.
Yeah.
And they've been at war together. Moses growing up as a child, and so now it's heartbreaking. It's now there's this separation. So Moses has got him and his people, and Pharaoh's got nothing now. The point is, Ridley Scott had to design the film based on the scholarship that says you can't have him drowning.
Yeah.
So
what's even funny is that Prince of Egypt didn't even have him die by drowning.
I haven't seen the Prince of Egypt, but is that Pharaoh doesn't drown in Prince of Egypt?
Whoa, hold on, stop. No, stop. Everybody stop. Bro, you just committed cinematic blasphemy.
What do you mean?
Okay, dude. No, not you, Cloud. Rob.
Oh.
Hold on a second. Hold on, Cloud. Rob, you have never... Okay, now I'm about to change this whole stream we're about to live stream Prince of Egypt right now.
Dude, get copyrighted.
I don't even care at this point. Bro, bro, are you even
No, I haven't seen it.
What is your problem? No, okay, here's the thing.
I've seen Ace Ventura, but not Prince of Egypt, so...
Dude,
I have not seen Ace Ventura, but I watched The Prince of Egypt. That is an amazing film.
Ask anybody when it comes to animated series or just oh cool, it's free on YouTube. So do you know think of animated shows or animated movies that have
like Lion King and
no. So, for example, I would even say the animation is it's far beyond it, far beyond Lion King, far beyond Disney. Wow. Think of Atlantis, the Lost Empire, how cinematic the animation was. Think of Treasure Planet. how
Tarzan.
They were. Well, no, not even Tarzan. I'm thinking cinematically. Like these are like two of the most underrated movies ever in animation history, and yet they have the most cinematic animation, in my opinion, in history. And Prince of Egypt is right there. And the musicals, the singing in Hebrew, like across the board, just absolutely phenomenal. I would put Prince of Egypt as top tier, some of the greatest like films in history. I really would.
I would
it's
too.
that stinking good.
So
Rob,
the
you're
one,
not saved, dude.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm taking Rob. I gotta take your salvation away at this point, dude. You're not saved. You
Oh,
haven't watched Prince of
Robert,
Egypt.
I
Oh,
need
no.
Robert, I need to take like the Christian
All right, we need to get
apologist
back on
tag
track.
from you and take that away from you until you watch Prince
So-
of Egypt.
So I'm just clarifying. So even Prince of Egypt doesn't have the Pharaoh drowning. Like, do you see him talk after
Yeah,
that?
at the very end, he's screaming Moses.
Now in the film, it made the heir to having him going into the into the Red Sea where it's like it's
Right,
split it out.
but he doesn't die. He gets splashed back, and dude, and it's okay. So Rob, you're gonna be like, oh, they got this part wrong. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Cinematically, it's great. Okay, there's two giant walls of water. Like it's literally.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm not. Yeah, that's all fine. The point here is the Pharaoh drowning.
all
The
great.
Quran says he did.
He doesn't drown.
Well, I'm glad. At least children got right education with that sense, right? So,
Well, all right. Let's bring it back on tax. Let's bring it back.
so a cartoon got it right, and Ridley Scott got it right. Everyone else got it right. The Quran got it wrong. How incredible! So,
So let's
right.
let's go.
I
Big
you know
upon
what's funny?
Sultan is not concluded him to drown.
The Egyptologist who studied Ramses II. Probably Ramses II is the pharaoh that's said to have existed at the time of when Moses is said to have historically existed. Funny enough,
Yeah.
the Egyptologist that studied that body and not only concluded that he drowned,
Don't do it.
but he later
Nope.
accepted Islam.
Oh.
He accepted Islam.
Hold on.
Yeah, so that
Hold on.
I'm about to tell them that they're quoting
That's what I wanted to hear.
the Maurice Bucaille French doctor dude, which I'm going to bring up in a moment. But anyway,
I'm sorry?
Pardon me?
what's the name of this Egyptologist?
Maurice Bucaille. Maurice Bucaille.
Yeah, he was not an Egyptologist.
What was
Maurice
he?
Bucaille was Maurice
just
Bucaille was a
just quickly when
He-
you go to that's a 1980s claim that he made. He was a French doctor, a medical doctor. So
Okay,
when
fine.
you-
Okay,
when
fine.
you go-
Okay, no problem.
wait. When you go to
Okay,
latest
Maurice Bucaille was with biological was the biological with the sperm and then the zygote and yeah, it was with the human development basically.
1 second. When you go now to any dictionary on Ramses the Great, all Egyptologists will conclude that he lived to the age of 90, well after the 19th dynasty. So that.
But wait a minute, Rob.
Wait.
Rob,
He lived to the age of 90.
I
One second.
still, can I just get his argument, guys?
Oh, here
Can
we
I just
go.
understand
Okay,
what his argument even is?
Okay. He's saying
Because
he's
one,
Okay,
Ramsey,
You
I'm
don't
trying-
ruffle the feathers.
I'm trying to let him
guys,
guys.
because Egyptian sources not mentioning something, to me that's not a good argument. Like, what even is the argument? Egyptian sources don't mention Egyptian sources. Just to let you know, ancient Egyptian
roll.
sources don't even mention the existence of someone called Moses. For a long time, people didn't.
Like,
I didn't think of that.
Hold on. Yeah, you think before they discovered
My God, and it's just this monotonous. All right, let's.
Saifullah, just stay in your corner, because at the same time it's like it's arguing from science. Like, oh, okay, like it doesn't mention that he ever did drown. It's like,
All right, so
oh, hold on, are you sure?
let's bring up this dude,
Are you
this
sharing your
myth. You know what's interesting? I'm going to spoil it for you, Hunter. I'm going to spoil it. Rumsey does a little bit of background check, I'm presuming, in the same stream, like within a minute or two. And Rumsey takes back the claim and acknowledges this is something new he's learned. So kudos to him for backtracking this claim. So here's this guy.
Wait, is he the guy that made the Quran and so? Oh, is he the guy?
Yes. This guy
Oh.
is a French doctor, a specialist in the field of gastroenterology, and appointed as the family physician of this Faisal of Saudi Arabia in 1973.
Wait.
He's primarily known for
That's-
the
Wait, what kind of doctor is he?
gastro stuff. So basically digestion.
He's a
Dude, I
digestion
was gonna
doctor. He's a
Well,
guy.
because I was gonna. I know. Because what I was gonna say is the dude studies. Never. I don't know if I can say it on.
He studied farts. Okay.
No. Oh, he studies crap. Is what he does. He
Oh,
studies
boy.
crap. I'll put it like that. He.
And
studies
by the
crap.
way, that's a legit field. All power to the
No,
guy.
No.
Yeah,
people
all
who-
power.
It is.
Yeah.
No.
hold
Yeah.
on.
But
But
listen,
hang on,
we
guys.
need people.
No,
we need people.
Cloud, hang on a second. This is my point. He studies crap, and he became a Muslim. Enough said.
Well, apparently, so the story goes that he converted to Islam because the Quran got. Notice the implications here, okay? Are you seeing the implications? Prince of Egypt says Pharaoh doesn't drown. Egyptologists say Pharaoh didn't drown. The Bible says Pharaoh didn't drown. So everyone across the board saying Pharaoh didn't drown. This guy reads the Quran. The Quran says that Pharaoh did drown. Now, this is the challenge that you'll see in a moment, what I give the Muslims on that stream. I tell them, if the Pharaoh did drown, especially Ramses the Great, the Quran is the only one that got it right. And now, against practically every other claim, the Quran is alone in that, got it right. Excellent. That is fantastic. I would give a lot of praise to the Quran. I can see then why, in the psychology of this guy, I could see why he would convert to Islam, because it got that against the whole weight of criticism that says no, the Pharaoh did not drown. If Ramses the Great did drown, then yeah, the Quran's alone in getting it correct. So this is why it says he wrote following his study of the mummy of Ramses the Great. And then it says the book gave rise to a movement called Bucaillism or something like that, which tries to relate modern science to religion, especially Islam. And according to the Wall Street Journal, in some ways the Muslim counterpart to Christian, basically young creationist argumentation. And so while creationism rejects much of modern science, Bucaillism embraces it. So, okay, now I'm going to share my screen again. Where are you, Hunter? Hunter. Oh, you're muted.
I'll be back,
Sorry,
guys.
can you hear me?
I'll be back, guys. Just give me a
No, you're
second.
good. Sorry. There we go.
Okay, so now this is the official facts. Let me zoom in nicely here.
You got like.
This is the
3
official facts.
Okay.
So, by the time of his death, age 90, Ramses was suffering from severe dental problems and was plagued with arthritis and hardening of the arteries.
Hmm.
Now, when you come down over here, it says, in 1975, that dude, okay, the French doctor, examined the mummy, found it in poor condition, and that's basically it. Like, convinced Egyptian authorities to suspend the mummy and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Then the mummy was forensically tested. The chief forensic scientist at the Criminal Identification Laboratory, and he observed that the mummy had slightly wavy red hair. He concluded that Ramses II was a
He had
Berber
wavy
type.
red hair.
Right.
He was wow.
Fair skin,
Go ahead.
potentially. Then, so his family of redheads is ironically what. And then, let's see. However, this dude disputed the results and argued that the structure of the hair morphology cannot determine the ethnicity of a mummy, and that a comparative study should have featured Nubians in Upper Egypt before a conclusive judgment was reached. Then in 2006, French police arrested a man. Okay, let's skip all that. Then in 1980, series of X-ray examinations, again, Nubian samples is the connection. And skip down.
Fractures, arthritis, poor circulation.
Right. So
Have made him walk.
it's
with a
believed to have made him
hunchback.
walk with a hunchback for last decades of his life. Okay, where's this drowning situation? Nothing here about drowning. 2004 study excluded this particular condition, which is the hunchback condition, as a possible cause, and proposed diffuse idiopathic skeletal hyperostosis as a possible alternative, which was confirmed by more recent work. So this doesn't really work. Like this, notice this is a 2014 study, okay, of from the 18th to 20th dynastic periods of the pharaohs. A significant hole in the pharaoh's mandible was detected. Researchers observed an abscess by his teeth, which was serious enough to have caused death by infection, although this cannot be determined with certainty.
Okay.
You know, and that's basically it. It's there's nothing about this man being drowned. The claim by Bucaille is just off the table. So that's that. Now watch what Rumsey says.
Of the Merneptah stele, people had any evidence that even Israel existed, the children of Israel existed in ancient Egypt. They only realized, yeah, they do exist because of the discovery of the Merneptah stele, or the Israeli stele that mentions Israel.
While he's talking.
Like just because
You know,
their sources their sources don't mention something doesn't mean it didn't happen. Their sources don't mention Moses.
Yeah, Adi, your connection.
Allow me to talk.
Yeah.
So,
of course. Adi,
This
just
is what the latest in Egyptology says. Estimates of Ramses the Great's age vary, though 90 to 91 is considered to be the most likely figure. Upon his death, he was buried in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings. His body was later moved to the royal cache.
That's fine.
What's your
where
argument,
the
Rob?
found it.
What is your argument?
His body was not discovered to have been drowned. That is a false claim by Bucaille.
Hold on, one second.
What is your argument, Rob?
Okay. Saifullah, 1 second. Yeah. First of all,
1980s claim that has been disproved.
hold on, Rob, 1 second. Okay, a couple
What is
things.
your argument? I still want to, Ramzi, I don't want to waste time. Habibi, please, I don't want to waste time. Because I've seen these conversations before. I know they can go on for hours and hours. I don't want that to happen now.
What he quoted
is
doesn't
your
actually
argument,
refute
Rob?
Islam. I'm confused.
Yeah, I just want you to make an argument. Make an argument. What is your argument?
No, I just started with an example with chronology from Adam, Noah, Abraham, then this house of Imran. You
How does any of
mentioned
that disprove Islam?
to get around that contradiction, that anachronistic contradiction.
How
Then
does
we-
any of what you said?
Then we went down this discussion to give other contradictions. You brought up the claim that there's evidence of Pharaoh drowning. I didn't.
Okay, Rob.
Then you
How
saw-
does anything you said? How does anything you said?
Okay, 1 second.
Ramzi.
1 second, Akhi.
All right, 1 sec. I'm just going to disconnect my headphones. Do you want to join now? Yeah.
I want to make a correction to earlier.
bad
The
It's
thing is, I don't want
actually-
any like. Do you
There's
hear
a-
any echo?
Yeah,
when I'm
there's an
talking?
echo.
Yeah. Okay. 1 sec.
I want to make a correction earlier. It's not the gospel. It's not the infancy gospel of Mary. It's the childhood of the Savior
Right.
that the Quran mentioned, references. Just want to make a correction.
Nope, you're good. And
All right. Sorry, guys. We'll have to leave the stream in about 40 minutes tops, so we need to get
That's
straight to that
yep,
stream.
let's get to it.
But I want to show Wazam's reaction, then we go
Yep,
to that
go ahead.
stream. Yeah.
Okay, Rob. So, okay, how about this? What's the contradiction with I haven't heard a single contradiction so far. What's the contradiction with the chronology of Noah, Abraham? What was the contradiction?
So if I go by the reading as given by the Quran, that you have.
Okay.
Wait, just clarifying because I didn't hear it. Did Rumsey admit about the Pharaoh drowning?
Not
thing?
yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, now it'll be coming up then. Imran's wife giving birth to Mary, and then she gives birth to Isa.
Right.
I find it curious that there's no mention of Mary's father being called Imran anywhere in history.
Okay, good. So now okay, good. We can talk about that, but you said there's a contradiction. What's the contradiction?
The contradiction is if this is the Imran of Moses' father, like that is Moses' father, now
Right.
Moses would be the uncle of Jesus, and Moses' father would be the grandfather of Jesus.
Okay, but this is
But
building
you're saying
upon.
it's not the father of Moses.
But this is all built up. But this is all built upon your understanding of who Mary's father was. This isn't a contradiction between. I thought you were trying to show there was a contradiction within the Quran.
Yeah, it's
By the way,
Quran. It's within the Quran.
for that to be true, for that to be true, let me deal with this. For that to be true,
Then,
لحظة, one moment, Rob. For that to be true, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would have needed to not know that there are multiple generations between Imran, the father of Moses, and Maryam, or Mary. He would have needed to not know that there were multiple generations between them. However, from Islam, we know that he did know that there were multiple generations between them. According to Islam, the sister of Moses was alive when he was still a baby. According to Surah Taha, chapter 20. She was alive when he was still a baby, okay? So Moses is taken by Pharaoh. He grows up there.
Oh.
Then he runs away from...
Wazam has just entered the building.
I really want to see
Uh,
this.
from Egypt. He lives outside of Egypt for years, and then he comes back and he takes the children of Israel out of there. So these are many years. The sister of Maryam is now how many years old? Then Musa alayhi salam, according to the Quran, wants to take the children of Israel to the Holy Land in the Levant, but they don't enter it, and Allah says that they will not be allowed to enter it for 40 years. So these are 40 years they do not enter the Holy Land. Then, according to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, Yusha bin Nun, or Joshua, peace be upon him, took the children of Israel to the Holy Land. So now how much time has passed? At least 40 years. Even more than 40 years, but at least 40 years. Then, according to Islam, the Prophet, we have the Prophet Dawood alayhi salam, who came after the king Talut, who ruled where? In the Holy Land. Then after Talut, there is Dawood. After Dawood, there is Sulaiman. Then after Sulaiman, there is Zakaria. Then after Zakaria, there is Yahya. Then after Yahya, there is Isa. The Prophet said that between him and Isa, there is no other prophets. So obviously, he knew that those other prophets came before him. So that is how many generations at least? You have Musa, Yusha, Talut. Talut and Dawood, we count them within the same generation. No problem. Sulaiman, Zakaria, Yahya, Maryam. That is at least 7 generations. So if you're telling me that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, believed that the sister of Moses was, I don't know how many, 300 years old when she gave birth to Isa. If you want to make that claim, you have to bring evidence for that. But so far, to me,
I'm not making that claim.
This is like, I don't know why they do that constantly. They're like, if you're making that claim, then you have to prove that. It's like, dude, shut up! Like, you're going so far left with it now. Like, you're making absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
You're sounding like the stupidest person on the panel right now. And you're making Islam look really bad. Like, dude, y'all got to stop doing that. Muslims, stop doing that stuff, because it's so ridiculous that this is why we, for the most part, it's like you wonder why people look down upon Muslims. It's stuff like this that happens. It's like, come on, guys. Like, use the brain cells that you have, please, for the love of Allah. It's just so frustrating and annoying when they do crap like that. Like, I don't even care at this point. It's so stupid.
from what Islam says, it seems very clear that there were many generations, according to
From what Islam says, it seems very clear. Is it Islam or the Quran?
Apparently, it's not that clear, because otherwise it wouldn't be this confusing.
Oh boy.
But go ahead.
between Moses and Mary.
Habibi, one second.
All right.
I just wanted.
Here we go. Here comes the fireworks. Quick, I need to scurry. They fear they fear Islam, right? Oh boy.
Deal with the other claim real quick. Ramzi, can you put up Psalm 136:15 on your screen, please?
Sure.
Psalm 136:15.
130.
Psalm 136:15. Wa alaikum salam.
By the way, Sam, after you go, there's another point that I would like to touch upon after you.
What?
Psalm 136 won't help you as well.
Psalm 136:15 won't help me?
No.
Read it, Ramzi. Read it, Ramzi.
By the way, so remember just a moment ago when I said Fork has already touched on Psalm 136 that says the Hebrew means to swat like a fly, it doesn't mean drown.
Yep. Here we go.
Give it 1 second. But wait. And brought Israel through the midst of it. His love endures forever. But swept Pharaoh and his army into the Red Sea. His love endures forever.
Ah,
I mean,
okay. So Pharaoh's where? He died of old age, or what?
Swept his army into the Red Sea.
It doesn't say he died
Swept
in
Pharaoh
this text.
and his army into the Red Sea. Yeah.
Okay, so he didn't drown, or
So I'll explain it. You'll see. I'll explain in the discussion.
What's
But
going on
just
here?
this text alone, it doesn't even say he drowned or died either. It says he
Yeah.
swept Pharaoh and his army into the Red Sea. Yeah. That can happen. A lot of people could be swept into
Yeah.
the sea, but that doesn't mean at all that they drowned.
Yeah. Nope, not according to the Psalm. No.
No.
Nope.
Go ahead, exegete it for me.
So the Psalm is it's labeled. So there's no label to it, right? And when you look at critical commentaries on this gracious love throughout the Psalm, see how it says, "Give thanks to the Lord of Lords, for His gracious love is everlasting. To one who alone does great and wondrous things, His gracious love is everlasting." It's His constant gracious love, His Hesed, right? Then when you come to 13, to the one who split the reed sea in two was gracious love, and made Israel pass through the cast Pharaoh and his armies into the reed sea, gracious love. This statement is basically a direct correlation with Exodus 15. And when you go to Exodus 15, it's the song of, guess what, Miriam, where Mary says the Pharaoh's power, the Pharaoh's, like, his whole clan has been cast into the sea. And Egyptologists like Hoffmeyer have looked into this, and even David Falk on his YouTube channel have looked into this to say that this matches with polemical, holistic sort of argumentation that.
Wait. So hold on. Before you waffle on and on. So you're saying it doesn't. You're saying. Hold on. You're saying it doesn't help me. You said it doesn't help me, because you made a crazy interpretation between Psalms and Exodus, and now you want to interpret it kind of metaphorically, and then you're referring to Egyptologists to tell you what this verse means.
Well, they're the experts in regards to Egyptology.
They're the experts in biblical commentary or Egyptology.
Both. Hoffmeyer is an Egyptologist and a biblical scholar, most of Old Testament. So
okay, so let me get this straight. So it says he cast him and his host into the Red Sea. The entire context is about things that God does for you to show you his love. It says he brought Israel through the midst of the Red Sea and then swept Pharaoh into it. And you're saying that's like a metaphor or something.
Notice again the issue. Is it the red? I'm just giving this as a side example. Is it the Red Sea or the Reed Sea? What is Yam Suf?
It says Red Sea.
According to which translation?
According to every translation I've looked at, including the NRSV, which is one of the most scholarly translations.
Right, but because of Egyptology, Yam Suf.
Because of Egyptology, you're a clown, bro. You're a clown. You're an absolute clown. Egyptology is to do a better job at translating these passages than Hebrew scholars.
So do you see how
the projection,
Vizam, right? But not just that. Vizam thinks that he can make a profound argument against Christians that you can't go outside the Bible. So hang on a second. When you have scholars like Hoffmeyer, Heiser would be the big name in this entire game when it comes to we need the context of Walton, the lost world of XYZ, right? Mm-hmm. You need the extra biblical ancient Near Eastern context to then, so that we can then go, I see the polemic here.
And just for the record, everybody that was just named are actual PhD holding scholars. Everybody.
They're the ones that run the university courses. I mean, I'm talking top tier level courses.
Yep.
Like this is studies. No slouch this is no diploma mill stuff. This is this is like Harvard, the equivalent of going to Yale. In fact, some of them teach at Yale. Mm-hmm. And some of them is written for the Yale commentary series. Like we're talking
these are legitimate guys who are top tier scholars who are not beating around the bush. We saw them. You don't know what the crap you're talking about. You just like to quote scholars yourself.
So he's
it's
like
a form of authority.
Because of Egyptology, it's just incredible. The
level of ignorance,
the projection,
the level of ignorance of like how Egyptologists also have to study other languages as well. It's just like, or the fact you have to like look at research this stuff. It's just like, okay, there are a lot of Hebrew scholars that would also agree like what the Egyptologist is saying, because the Egyptologist is probably quoting a Hebrew scholar.
Well, ironically, these guys are biblical commentators as well.
Yes.
That are also utilizing the Hebrew as well as ancient Near Eastern texts or sources outside of the Bible itself. Mm-hmm. Like we can do that because here's the thing, and I'll say this because I almost sound like a Muslim even saying this. We can go to outside sources because it confirms what the Bible says. it's not like anything that contradicts the Bible is not reliable. No, we look at all sources and we talk about all sources and argumentations, and we look at the evidence. We talk about it. We're willing to have the conversation.
So
Some people are not.
I'm bringing up. Okay, I just wanted to give a clear example. I'm bringing up the Red Sea translation. Now he's like the NRSV,
Yep.
the most up to date, which for its time in the 70s and 80s, fine.
But okay, but what about the new Revised Standard Version? Or like any
Right,
of the other versions?
But it's not just that. It's not just that. How about let's just go to say. Let me actually bring up Psalm 136 in the ISV. And the ISV is sensitive to, Egyptology, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sharing my screen, Hunter.
Oh, sorry. I am about to have to go myself as well. It's 11.
Yeah. We need to. So what I'll do is I'll get straight to the Second King situation then. But
Well, we're
notice,
gonna
to
have
the
to-
one
so-
who split the Reed Sea.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Look.
Yep.
And cast. That's how it translates verse 15. Cast Pharaoh and his armies into the Reed Sea. Now, the polemic here is that the sea, the Yam, is associated also with chaos. So it's this notion of, it's a polemic to say what you consider to be dreadful, what's chaotic, the chaotic waters.
Yeah.
That's how they've been swept. They've just been backhanded into chaos. Because don't forget, in Exodus 14, guess where the Israelites are camped against? They're camped against Baal Zephon opposite the sea.
I
So
also
Baal
want to.
Zephon is your. We're talking about divine council stuff here. So anyway, yeah.
I just wanted to mention in the NRSV, it says, "But overthrew Pharaoh and his army in the Red Sea."
Right.
But what Rissam said. Oh, all translations. All translations
Right.
say this.
So overthrew, cast, swept.
I
No
would've straight up just
drown.
said- I would have straight up said, Wissam, it doesn't say drown. Oh, so what happens when people get swept in the sea? They
Well,
float. They swim.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
know, they can survive. They get lost on a single island. Like just because you're swept in the sea doesn't necessarily mean you drown. There's people that we have stories all across history that talk about how people were swept into the sea during a storm and they had to survive off of shellfish. Look at the movie Castaway. He was swept out of the air and a plane crashed into the ocean.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he died by, I don't know, how can somebody die by altitude sickness or something? I don't know. It's like he didn't die in the air, he got swept out of the air. Like, come on, dude. You guys are reaching. You guys are really reaching. Wissam, dude, when me and
What's
you
even-
have conversations, hold on.
What-
When me and you have conversations, it's like you're not quoting anything original, and then what's interesting is you go to, oh, authority says this, scholar says this, scholar says that. What's the actual evidence, bro? Because you're not presenting any. You never do.
I want to
And
also.
hold on, Cloud. Let me just finish this real quick
Okay.
because I don't have much time. Sorry. You don't bring much to the table, even though you act like you do. It's a lot of fallacious arguing, and this is why whenever people all the time is like, oh, you should debate him, you should debate Wissam, you should debate Eminem. Bro, it's like you guys are in the same echo chamber doing the same exact thing. It's like if you can't have a legitimate conversation and just when Rob here, for example, just simply does what he just did and you just go, oh, you're a clown, you clown. No. Islam has made you a clown. Muhammad made you
The
a
name
clown.
calling starts immediately.
Like Muhammad's a clown. See, like I care more about Rob than I do your prophet. And I'm willing to say that your prophet's a clown if you're going to be like that. I just don't even care anymore. I really don't, dude.
I care
like-
more about your Cocoa Puffs pet dogs than Muhammad.
I mean, bro, like, because at the end of the day, Christians do not believe he's a real prophet. So don't start insulting us, or we're start insulting where the heart's actually at, and it doesn't bother us. dude, like nobody cares. I'll speak for myself. I don't care, and I'm just laying it out straight. I don't care, and it's so they think that that's supposed to like get to us. That's supposed to mean something, but bro, if you really want to start like being childish, you want us to hold your hand and wipe your butt too, and because you're acting like a little baby, then I'm not doing it. I ain't your mama. Go to your mama or go to Mother Aisha. I don't give a crap. It's stupid.
Well,
it's so stupid.
So before you end the stream, I want the public to see the babiness of Zam that's
Sure.
about to happen.
All right.
Where he says, my very presence just upsets him.
Did it?
Wissam, show your face to show the public how rude you can be.
Me? I'm rude. You're the one who sits with Sam Shamoon while they make fun of Islam and you're calling me rude. That's not. Stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim. You little weasel. Stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim. We know who you sit with.
I'm showing my face. You can show your face.
I'm on YouTube. I have multiple videos on YouTube. What are you talking about? Rob, do not play the victim. We all know who you are. We all know who you are. You're a little weasel. You brought up the same contention to Muhammad Ali. You brought the same contention to Muhammad Ali, and you got embarrassed. And you're still here doing it.
Wissam, guys, please time out. Please time out.
Grow
Okay,
up
one
with
second. Okay, no problem. Grow up, no problem. Okay,
You're the one who's recycling polemics that you used 3 months ago. You have nothing better to do? You have nothing better to do?
I know. Okay, look, so Rob, here's the problem. You
Guys,
brought.
chill.
Okay, so first you brought.
Take a chill pill.
Rob, just calm down. How about you?
I'm sorry. Your face triggers me. You're such a blundering idiot that it triggers me. What can I do? What can I do? You're the biggest ignoramus I've ever.
What can I do? Your face triggers me. What can I do?
Spoken to in my life. I've educated you like 4 times already.
Okay, so guys, very simple. Okay, very simple, Rob. You brought one contradiction, which I still was waiting for the contradiction. I still didn't hear the contradiction. The first thing that you said was, I said, where's the contradiction? You said, well, we don't have any record of Mary's father being called Imran. Okay, that's not a contradiction. That's just, what do you call it? Absence of evidence. It's not evidence of absence. That's the first thing. Second of all, then you brought up the issue of Moses. And what was the issue with Moses? What do you call it? Whether or not his body drowned in the sea, or sorry, not Moses, excuse me, the Pharaoh. Whether Pharaoh drowned in the sea, what do you call it? Number one, you said there's no mention of it. There's no mention of him drowning. Okay, again, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. I don't see Moses being mentioned in Egyptology. That doesn't mean Moses didn't exist.
But by the way, most pharaohs have their organs like removed from their body. So the only way to tell if they've drowned is if there's salt water in their lungs, and you wouldn't be able to even tell.
Okay, good. Now, which pharaoh has that content?
It doesn't. Ramses II has had his organs removed, right? Monapta has too.
Someone brought up Bucaille, who made the argument that he found salt content.
No, nobody's saying that. You're saying that there is no proof that he was drowned in the sea. There wouldn't be proof if their organs are missing.
Nobody said that. My
Okay.
gosh.
Anyways. All right.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna let this play out. There's literally 2 more minutes and then I'm kicked, and then we need to
So
maybe
here's
do
what
a
we're gonna
part
do.
2.
Yeah, here's what we're gonna do. So
Yeah.
so this is how we're gonna end the stream. We're gonna play at this part, and then pretty much we're not gonna go on a long
Yeah, we'll do a part
whatever.
2 and come back to the other stream. That
We need to do a
wanted
part 2
touch on.
because I haven't
Yeah.
been out here in a while anyways, and I need to. And so we need to do a part 2. We actually need to do a part 2. We talked about
Yes.
how we're gonna do part 2s. And
You're
3s.
back on YouTube, baby.
Yeah, so we need to do part 2s. So
I will remind you too.
We're,
I will.
So we're gonna finish this out 2 minutes. So in the next 5 minutes, it's 11:11 right now. Start it now, and we'll end in 5 minutes because I do gotta
Yeah.
go.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Did you? You knew this. You knew this, but you didn't bring it up. Wait. You knew this, but you didn't bring it up.
To be fair, I
One
thought.
second.
Maybe,
Pseudo
maybe,
scholar.
one second. I brought this up. I brought this up. I'm the one who brought this up. Okay, maybe if I'm wrong about this, I can take it back. No problem. I thought from what I remember reading, they found evidence. I don't know if it was in his lungs or what it was, that he showed signs of drowning. Now maybe that didn't happen.
But it's a false claim because he wasn't an Egyptologist. He's a French doctor, and we know that Ramses the Great died at the age of 90.
How does that prove he didn't drown? Can I not?
But by the way, the Quran has plenty. The Quran has plenty of indicators that he lived to old age. I just looked it up. Ramses II had his lungs, his heart, and all his organs were removed. If you knew this, if you knew that the only way to tell that a person drowned in ancient Egypt was to study their organs and the saltwater content in their lungs, why are you bringing it up?
Is it a consensus that he drowned?
There's no way to prove that he drowned.
By the way,
You knew that. Wait. You knew that, right? That's what I'm telling you. He's a liar. He's not here for honest discussion. He said, wait, hold on. He knew that his organs were removed, and he knew that that's the only way to tell if the person is drowned, and yet he still tried to come here and pass this lie on.
Is
Do
Ramses
not
the
give
great
this
before the flood?
buffoon
Yes
a
or no?
platform.
Okay,
Do
one
not
second.
give him a platform.
Is Ramses the great the Pharaoh who drowned? Yes
It
or no?
doesn't matter. All of them had their organs removed. That was part of the mummification process.
Okay, one second. Watch this. Rob. Historically,
Show me.
watch this. Historically, the pharaoh that existed at the time of Moses was Ramses II, and we as Muslims believe he was drowned. And if what is correct, okay, I'm going to take this back. I learned something today. Okay, great. His organs were taken out. I forgot about that. I learned about that in 6th grade. Their organs were taken out, so therefore we wouldn't know if he's drowned or not. The Quran tells us he was drowned. If his organs aren't in his body, and you know this, and you know that if we don't have his organs, we can't prove he drowned or not. Why are you asking us to give evidence if he drowned?
Well, how?
So, guess what? Look how stupid this logic
Cloud,
is.
hang on a second.
So apparently, organs.
Is the only way to determine this somebody drowned.
But organs are not going to survive either way.
Right.
And there's other ways to test for drowning. It's not just organs.
Right.
Anyway.
I'm sorry for laughing so hard. That was too funny.
Yeah.
We can't
All right.
prove that he drowned, but we're gonna use the Quran that he drowned.
Yep.
From silence. All right, let's keep going because I don't have much time.
And at least Rumsey admits, oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know that context.
Right.
Notice what Egyptologists do. You can actually go to the Ramses dictionary.
Hold on, Rob. Hold on, Rob. 1 second. Rob, 1 second. Rob, no, hold on.
There's
Before we go somewhere else,
wait. I listened to you.
There's no honest statement is going to come out of his mouth. He's going to ramble for 5 minutes, and we're going to be left scratching our head saying, "What the hell did he just say?" He's gonna pass a buzzword like Egyptologist and archaeologist, and then nothing. You know this idiot when hold on when Zakir Hussain gave him when Zakir Hussain gave you an interpretation of Daniel 7 that told you it's the saints of the Most High, you were like, oh, which critical scholar says that? No critical scholar does that. It took me 2 minutes to go on Google Books and get the first consensus opinion was that it's the saints of the Most High by Dale Allison Jr. You just talk out of your rear all the time. I made a clip of this about you, and everybody laughed at you. You're a clown. You said the same thing about Isaiah 9:6b. No, about a different prophecy you brought up about Hezekiah. You speak out of your rear. The same thing happened with the Gnostic issue when I had to embarrass you that day when you kept on freaking waffling between centuries and no Gnostic father said it. Did Basilides really say this?
No, how many? 300 years.
Oops, sorry. No, unfortunately, I was not using my headphones because I kept getting burning out.
No, but
You're conceding.
Hold on. If he's using Google to get, if it took him 2 minutes to find a consensus, right? What he talked about with Dale Allison, why can't you do that with Pharaoh? Like, bro, that's waffling. That's the Muslim shuffle.
That's the double standard right there. Yep.
Exactly. Like, this is one of the reasons why Muslim apologists have a hard time convincing a lot of the people that I know because of stuff like this. We saw him.
And if they get triggered like this, it just communicates their insecurities.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's the emotions of it. It really is.
Yep.
Now, David, I asked David Falk in that period.
we have to be able to prove it is drowning.
It doesn't matter. It is the truth. Not only are you ignorant, but you are willfully ignorant. When you kept on freaking waffling between centuries and no Gnostic father said it, the saints of the Most High, you were like, oh, which critical scholar says that? No critical scholar does that. It took me 2 minutes to go on Google Books and get the first consensus opinion was that it's the saints of the Most High by Dale Allison Jr. You just talk out of your rear all the time. I made a clip of this about you, and everybody laughed at you. You're a clown. You said the same thing about Isaiah 9:6b. No, about a different prophecy you brought up about Hezekiah. You speak out of your rear. The same thing happened with the Gnostic issue when I had to embarrass you that day when you kept on freaking waffling between centuries and no Gnostic father said it. Did Basilides really say this?
Calm down. We can
Stop speaking out. No. I have to be like this. I have to be like this because you are a shaitan. You are a shaitan. Not only are you ignorant, but you are.
Notice that you're a shaitan.
No, you know what he does a lot too.
Wow.
He goes, no. He goes, no. And he says it so fast too. I'm surprised I can even keep up with that. One time I was telling him, no, and then he turns around and goes, yeah. Like, dude, like, take your ADHD medicine, take a chill pill, slow your roll a little bit because you're all over the place, and just like, calm down, relax, it's gonna be okay, relax. But dude has, he thinks he knows more than he's biting his own foot by talking too much. He really is, because of the things he's saying. A lot of the stuff he says is out of his rear, because I have actually questioned him on a lot of stuff that he has said when it comes to textual criticism, when it comes to the birth of Jesus, things like that, and He's just like, you can name scholars all you want. What is the actual argumentation? What is the evidence? He says he Googled it in the next 2 minutes, and then he found a consensus by Dale Allison. Okay, what does he say? And where are you getting this from? Let's talk about it. But he's like, no, you're a clown. You're a shaitan. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's finish this.
You are willfully ignorant, and you're here just to spread propaganda.
So here we go. Name calling again.
It's not. It's the truth. It's the truth. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is the truth. I've got it off my chest. You can go ahead.
Okay, so Rob, here's the problem. Okay, I'm seeing some signs of insincerity. I don't know what happened before the stream, but from our very conversation, I'm seeing signs of insincerity. On the one hand, you try to argue against him drowning by saying, "Oh, well, you know what? They don't have." First you brought up this is a contradiction that he drowned. Oh, how do we know he drowned or not? But then you're conceding, well, okay, we can't actually prove or disprove whether or not he drowned because we don't have his organ.
No, I never said that. No, I never said that.
So how would you be able to prove or disprove?
There's a lot of over talking and not allowing me to finish my point.
Okay, this is just a very simple question. How would you be able to prove or disprove if the Pharaoh drowned? Go ahead.
Okay, so I consulted David Falk, for example. I sent him a super chat when he's doing a live stream. He's an Egyptologist under. He trained under Hofmeyr. These are like Kenneth Kitchen is another one. Alan Millard is another Egyptologist. These are all Egyptologists of the field. Some of them are theists, some of them are atheists. But across the board, the consensus is that Ramses the Great is the Pharaoh of the Exodus. Some thought Amenhotep II was, some thought Akhenaten, and some others, but they're like the minority. Now, I asked David Falk, in that period, take from the earliest, say, 18th dynasty period, all the way to, say, the 20th dynasty period, so 19 is Ramses the Great. Take that huge range for Moses existing and the Exodus. Which Pharaoh drowned?
Rob, answer the question. Answer the question.
Is the answer. Wait for the answer.
None of what you said has anything to do with the question.
Please, I'm begging you. Okay, Rob, that's great. All that irrelevant.
Wait. Here's the answer. They have the bodies. They've analyzed the bodies. They've even given age measurements to the bodies. They know that Ramses died at the age of 90. And there's no evidence of drowning.
And Rob, you just agreed.
Wow.
Sam, please. That was a waste. Please, Michelle, please finish.
Waste of space.
I know.
Sam is acting like a child as usual.
Rob, excuse me, Rob. You just conceded that there's no way to prove that the Pharaoh drowned or didn't drown.
No, it's not. That's not saying there's no way to prove. They did not drown. Is the
Rob? I let you finish. I gave you multiple chances to make your argument. Be quiet. We just agreed.
They did not drown.
Rob.
That's not what you said. That's not what you just said.
Rob, you cannot prove. We just agreed, and I learned this today.
I didn't say we cannot prove.
So how do you know someone drowned? How would you prove it from their body?
You just said there is no evidence that he drowned.
Wait, the example that the French doctor made, that there's sand content or salt content, or there's some sort of content.
That's not the question. Stop it. The French doctor has nothing to do with the question. What is the alternative to proving that someone died without inspecting their inner organs?
All right. So
you've had 6 attempts now.
For example, they've analyzed his cranial disposition. They've analyzed they've actually analyzed, say, the anatomy of his bones and how he was and how he's.
So if somebody drowned in the sea, for a couple of hours, his cranium would change. His cranium.
Wait,
bro, look, he's just making things up. He's just making things up. You're grabbing this out of your rear end.
And we have analyzed the hieroglyphs.
No, the only thing being analyzed is your BS.
Wait a second. He's bringing up the hieroglyphs. Is Moses mentioned in the hieroglyphs?
We're talking about Ramses the Great here.
Rob,
his body and the hieroglyphs of his burial show he did not drown.
You're completely missing the point.
Rob, one last time. If you don't have the organs of somebody, you can't prove that they drowned.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me just say this real quick, and because we do got to end it here.
Yeah.
You weren't.
And I'm kicked out literally in 5 seconds from you. So.
Was that? Oh, okay. Yeah, because you get kicked out.
Well, I'll just play until I'm kicked out. Then you make your point. So let's.
All right, real quick.
We agreed on that. That's something I learned today. I didn't know this before.
What do you mean? What do you mean if you don't have the organs for which Egyptologist makes that argument?
If you have a body, right? Ramses has a body. If he doesn't have the organs, if the organs are taken out, I know, right? I know it hurts, right? If the organs are taken out of a mummy, you can't prove whether or not he drowned. You'd have to look at his lungs. You'd have to look at his organs. I forgot about this. I learned this today, but great. I learned this. Alhamdulillah. In order to know whether a body or whether somebody had died from their body, you need to see their organs, analyze their organs. And if you don't have their organs, you can't prove whether or not they died. Let me finish. And then after that, on top of that, you appeal to hieroglyphs. If hieroglyphs don't mention something, that doesn't negate their existence.
The hieroglyphs show the manner of his death. The hieroglyphs show where he died. And that French doctor claimed that he found seaweed or some sort of like plants, and he found salt content.
Rob, you're not making any sense.
Ramses' body, which is false.
That's why that's a false myth.
Rob, 1 second. It seems like you're accepting the testimony of some, but not the others. You accept the testimony of some. Okay, 1 second.
Give me
Some
one
people-
Egyptologist. Give me one Egyptologist that says
1
Ramses.
second.
He always does this. He always does this.
Rob,
He always
sorry, Rob,
he says, "Give me one," and usually there's plenty. He just doesn't. He just lying. He's just lying. Give me one critical scholar. Give me one critical scholar who says that the son of man is the saints of the Most High. One critical scholar. You have never opened a book on David if you've never seen that it's considered the sons of the Most High, and you're doing the same thing again.
Look, for
I have the same book. I have the same book by Meyer. You idiot! Everybody has the Nag Hammadi text. You dummy.
Have this book.
I don't have it.
Oh, mashallah. Okay, nice. You spent $20 on a few books. What the hell? Look at this clown. He thinks he's doing anything. He thinks he's doing something. That can't buy sincerity. That can't buy sincerity. Books will never give you sincerity, you doofus.
I'm done.
Oh man.
Just
so
the
this is what I was gonna say earlier. Well, actually, I don't forget what I was gonna say earlier. That's why I was like, dang it.
I just
But
want to
here's
say,
the thing.
good.
Well, I was just gonna say this real quick because when it comes to, like, for example, the you weren't talking about the organs. you stopped mentioning the organs. Like, no, or you didn't even bring up the organs. That's the funny thing.
No, I didn't. No, why would you? You can't. That's a stupid way of.
You didn't even mention it. They kept saying that was your argumentation. They kept saying that that's what you're arguing for. So they don't have a bone to pick, obviously, because it's like they have no grounds to stand on. They just want to ramble. You're an idiot. You're a moron. You're talking out of your rear. Oh, you have a book. That's not whatever. It's like that is the exact example why I do not care to talk to him. Wissam specifically, because I've had that conversation before, and that's how it always ends. And people wonder why people don't want to go. Here's the thing: like, there's a stream that's happening. Why they feel threatened by Islam? Here's the thing: I don't care to go into these streams anymore, just because of people who act like that. And if Ramsey is willing to defend that, I don't care to talk to him either. Because it's atrocious, it's ridiculous, it's stupid. There's no fruit to the conversation whatsoever, and so when it's
Rachel got it right though. Rob must have had spare time to just for the kicks. But by the way, I need to rush. I need to go right now.
I want to say something really quickly before we leave. Muhammad is dead.
Well, I'll just say bye right now. So blessings to everyone, and Cloud and Hunter. I'll see you next time for part 2.
See ya.
Yep.
And
I gotta get off here soon too. So
yeah.
Hunter, don't want to
Cloud make a point, and then
Muhammad is dead. Jesus is risen. So,
amen.
amen.
All
God
right.
bless everybody. See
God bless.
you later.